So here's the deal. I'm being very jovial. I'm just happy that this is one step closer to being over. We did come to a plea agreement today in this case. I can basically run you up to everything in this case, up to this plea agreement, up to what I said in court today, up to what was agreed on in court. There will be some other stuff, sentencing specifics and things like that, that I can speculate on, but I can't tell you. You're not going to hear me do any bragging. You're not going to hear me do any kind of, yeah, good. Here's what I'm really excited to do. This is something I've wanted to do for a long time. I haven't been allowed to, and I really want to. Back on, I believe it was May 27th, I sent a text message to Gino Bisconti that contained a partially nude photo of a woman. That feels so good to be. I've wanted to admit that for so goddamn long. I've wanted to take responsibility for that for so goddamn long. It feels so nice to be able to. That's what I pled guilty to in court today. That is on the record. That was done in the public house today. I pled guilty to a misdemeanor count of dissemination of a photo. So I've been wanting to admit that. The way I was when I did that, I was not in a good place. I was not anywhere near the person I am today. I'm ashamed that I did it. It was stupid. It was a very boy thing to do. And I just feel good that I can get that off my chest. There's nothing good about it. It's not cool. But here was the deal. From the very beginning of this, we wanted to beat the felony. And if we could beat the felony, we would be happy. Now, there is a what was I going to say? I was looking at the chat. Now I totally lost my train of thought. This has been a very crazy day. There's been a lot of people have been like, you dead to rights on the felony. You got the felony. So everyone is treating today like it's some kind of win for the toe. And people are allowed to do that. And that's totally fine. And I understand that people who hate me are seething mad. They're very upset. People that like me or hate somebody else, they're very happy because they see this as a victory. I see this as this. I did a stupid thing. I did a really dumb, idiotic thing that I never should have done. And rather than, look, there were no witnesses that were coming to this thing. If I wanted to go all the way to the trial, we could have. But I did a dumb thing, and I should take responsibility for the dumb thing I did. And what we agreed on is I'm very happy with it. I will pay a $50 fine, and then nothing else in life will change. That's it. Plead guilty to a misdemeanor, $50 fine. They read it out loud in court today. It's all done. It's all done. Now I just do an interview. Then 6 weeks from now or so. In 6 weeks, we make it official, the probation, all that stuff. And, look, what we struck today is something that, my attorney and I were very happy with it. Very, very happy with it. I don't know what else to say. I guess basically, 09 Canyon says no other court costs. $50 fine is what we agreed to. And the felony is dismissed. The felony is dropped. We do the misdemeanor, and then we do what they call a pre-sentencing investigation, where they just make sure, because a lot of these kids during these pre-sentencing things like to go like, I'm just only pleading because I have to, and they're just retarded and they're stupid. They won't own up to what they did. So we got to do that, but that's in the future. I'll talk about what happened today. Illicit Clip says, do you have to register anywhere? No, that's another misconception, that this is some kind of sex crime. It's not. It's a dissemination offense. There's no I'm not any kind of a sex offender, and there's no registry that you go on for this or anything like that. It's considered more of a digital kind of a crime. It is. It's the charge is exactly what I did. I gave an image to somebody, and that's again. I'll say that this is how stupid I am. When I did not know it was against the law. Did not know it was against the law to show your buddy a picture. I really did think that you could be. I thought it was like the old days where you would go, look at the phone, right? And it's not like that. You can't send a text. I always thought like dissemination was like you spread it to a bunch of people. It's the definition of disseminate, which is share publicly, which is not what I did, but that's not how the law works in Minnesota. So ignorance is not an excuse. I'll let you in a little bit. I sat across from my attorney today, and I said, I'm only going to get one chance to ask you this because we're going the direction we're going. And I said, if we take this all the way, Keanu and Gino aren't coming. They're not getting served. And I said, if we take this all the way, can we win? And he goes, we can. He said, we can win. Without Gino and Keanu, we can win. And he did. He said, Aaron, it's $50. And there was something about that. You don't have to go through this anymore. It can be over. It can be done with. You can move on. And, the other, like I said, I can cleanse my soul of this. I can finally say, yes, that's what happened. Wasn't guilty of a felony. I wasn't. So I was never going to plead to that. We would have gone all the way if they wouldn't have dropped the felony. Absolutely. But fair is fair. I believe that justice was served 1,000%. And I got to state that in open court. Beloved chatter says, can you talk about your phone in the lake yet? Yeah, I can be completely honest with you. The phone in the lake was 100% a drunken tubing accident. I wish I had something more sexy for you. I know you guys want a really sexy story about that. It really had nothing to do with this whole thing. I put my phone, we were floating down a river. I put my phone on a cooler. Somebody went to get a beer out of the cooler. There goes the phone. I dive in. I get the phone. Had it next to heaters. Had it in bags of rice. The whole deal. Nothing. T.O. Hank on the boxing license thing. I'm keeping that close to the vest right now, but I do have some good news on that on the way. Our gym already got the good news. The good news just has to come to me now. I'm just telling you how it impacts me. I'm just telling you how I feel about the whole thing. I feel good about the whole thing. I'm so glad that I finally don't have to dummy up and be like, I don't know what happened. If none of this, in about 6 weeks, I'll be able to say a little more, but for what this really was, for what the real motivation behind this was, I think this probably could have been handled with an I'm sorry. One thing, though, that I will say, the picture that was sent to Gino, I took it. That's the other thing I haven't been able to admit. I was sitting right here. There's an evening show where I'm talking to Stevie Lou on the phone. Stevie Lou is on the phone. It was in January or February. It was a steel toe evening show. And you see me looking over like this and going like that. And I shared that photo with Gino, and that was a dog shit thing to do.